We were warned not to open it. The old man at the edge of the antique store practically begged us to leave it alone. It doesn't want to be disturbed, he said, his voice hoarse, eyes wide like he had seen something he never forgot. But that's exactly what made us want it more. It sat alone on the top shelf in the back corner of the shop, dust-covered, small, sealed with thick wax drippings and rusted nails. Strange Hebrew markings carved into its surface caught the flickering light like scars. It was cold to the touch, colder than the rest of the room. We should have walked away. We didn't. That night, in our cramped apartment lit only by candles and the dull glow of a camera, we prepared to open it. Just for the experience, we told ourselves. Just for the video. For the story. The moment the hammer struck the first nail, the air thickened. The room seemed to grow quieter but not peaceful, more like it was holding its breath. When the seal finally gave way, the lid creaked open on its own. Inside, nothing too shocking at first glance. An old lock of hair tied with red thread. A dried rose, blackened and crumbling. A small goblet, tarnished silver, its inside crusted with what looked like dry blood. A handwritten note, its Hebrew faded and almost illegible. And something wrapped tightly in aged cloth. We didn't touch it, not yet. The camera shut off. Just shut off. We checked the battery. It was full. Then the temperature dropped. Not like a window is open, no breeze. Just a cold that bit through your skin. Then came the whisper, barely audible. Just one word. Shema. We looked at each other. No one had spoken. Later, when we reviewed the brief footage, we saw something none of us remembered. A shadow standing behind us in the corner, unmoving, watching, waiting. That night, none of us slept. The next morning, our apartment smelled of sulfur. The lights flickered constantly, our phones glitched, and one of us, Michael, wasn't himself. He barely spoke, stared at walls for hours, and when he did speak, it was in languages none of us understood. Hebrew, Latin, something older. He'd scratched symbols into the furniture, into the walls. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't drink. And when we tried to burn sage or play protective chants, he screamed. A scream that didn't sound human. We contacted a rabbi. He asked only one thing. Did you open it? When we said yes, there was silence, then a sigh. You invited it. He explained what a dybbuk was. A malevolent spirit, often the soul of a person who died in torment or guilt, now bound to the living world. A dybbuk seeks a host, a body, a voice. Michael was slipping. We were told to seal the box again, using the same symbols and rituals that trapped the spirit in the first place. But the cloth bundle inside, that was the key. It had to go back untouched. We had already unwrapped it. Inside was a small, charred doll, its eyes burned out, nails hammered into its limbs, wrapped with human hair. We did everything the rabbi told us. Every chant, every seal, every line of salt. We tried to bind it back. But Michael is gone. His body's here. His eyes blink, his heart beats. But it's not him. And last night, he whispered again, Shema Yisrael. Only this time it was followed by laughter. It wasn't his. And now, something knocks at our door every night at 3 a.m. We haven't opened it, not yet. But something tells me we already did. We tried to leave. God knows we tried. Packed our bags in silence the next morning, all three of us avoiding eye contact with Michael or whatever was wearing his skin. He just sat there at the kitchen table, motionless, staring at the door like he knew. We didn't speak to him. We didn't say goodbye. But the moment we opened the front door, we were back inside. Same apartment, same hallway, same dim light above the dining table that flickered like a dying breath. It didn't matter how many times we tried. Walk out, blink. and we'd be standing right where we started. The walls felt tighter each time, the air heavier. And Michael, he smiled. The first smile in days. But it wasn't his. That night, we heard scratching, not just from the walls, from inside the walls, like fingernails trying to claw their way out. At 3 a.m., the knocking came again. 3 slow knocks. Always 3. But this time, it wasn't at the door. It was from inside the closet. When we opened it, we saw the doll. We had returned it to the Dybbuk box. We were sure of it. Now, it was sitting upright on the shelf, its burned eyes turned toward us. And written on the closet wall, scrawled in something that looked like blood, were words we'd never seen before. "I was never in the box. You were." Then Michael laughed. Not the strange, creepy chuckle we'd heard before. No. This was deeper. A gurgle from his chest, like multiple voices laughing at once, echoing through the room. He looked at us and whispered, "I remember you now. You opened me once before." The lights exploded, the walls shook, and then he levitated. Yes, I know how insane that sounds, but I swear on everything, we saw it. His body lifted into the air, arms out, eyes rolled back, mouth wide open as if something ancient was crawling out through him. We ran to the door, the windows, anything. But there was no exit, just more shadows moving between the cracks. Eyes blinking from mirrors, voices whispering beneath the floorboards. One of us, Jamie, started praying. She tried to read from a Hebrew text we found with the box. She didn't even know Hebrew, but the words came naturally, like they'd been waiting in her throat for years. Michael screamed. No, the thing screamed, like it was being torn apart. We thought it was working, until Jamie collapsed. Cold, unmoving. And Michael stood up completely calm. "It's not over," he said. "It's just begun. We didn't bury her. We couldn't." Jamie's body was still breathing, but her soul, gone. The EMTs said it was catatonia, maybe a seizure. They didn't know what we knew. They didn't hear what we heard. As soon as they wheeled her out, the Dybbuk box opened itself. The doll was gone again. And Michael? He started calling her name, softly, like a lullaby, like he missed her. That night, the apartment grew colder than ever. The windows frosted from the inside. Ice crept across the floor, slow and quiet, like fingers reaching. And Michael began writing symbols on the walls, in blood, not his. The next day, we found it. Jamie's journal. Something she never showed us. Pages filled with drawings of the box. Months before we ever found it. Words in languages she never studied. Hebrew, Aramaic, Phoenician. One entry stood out, dated 6 months ago. Dreamt of a dark place again. Saw myself screaming behind a glass wall. A voice said, "You opened it once. You'll open it again." Then it showed me a name. Al-Azrael. That name. It kept coming up, on the box, on the doll's fabric, even in the corners of the camera footage, barely visible when slowed down frame by frame. Al-Azrael. A fallen spirit, not just any Dybbuk, a collector of lost souls, said to have been trapped centuries ago by a Kabbalistic exorcist who used his own body as the vessel, a human prison. The box wasn't a container. It was a map leading back to the vessel being Jamie. We realized too late, the box found us. On the third night, Jamie came back. But it wasn't her. She walked in barefoot, her hospital gown covered in ash. Her eyes were wide and full of shadow. She didn't speak, only stared at Michael, who fell to his knees the moment he saw her. He whispered, "I missed you." And she replied, "We've missed you." Then the apartment changed. Walls melted. Shadows deepened. The air turned thick like smoke, and every mirror in the house shattered at once. Through the static of a dead television, we heard 100 voices whispering the same chant. Alazriel awakens. We are not alone anymore. We found another room in the apartment, one that shouldn't exist. Behind a cracked wall in the hallway, a narrow stairwell spiraling down into darkness. We never built this. It was never there before. And now, every night at 3 a.m., Jamie stands at the top of those stairs and beckons. Michael follows her. Every night. And every night, he comes back a little less human. And we stopped trying to leave. Because now we understand we were never the ones who opened the Dybbuk box. It opened us, and Alazriel is still hungry.